What is going on, everyone? I am back with another video. I am Larry the Batman fan. I hope you guys are doing well today. So today we are going to be doing a top 15 best Wii racing games. I saw a few videos that were doing this, but I feel like, they had opinions, and it's fine. They have their own opinions on what is the number one pick. But the number one pick, I'm going to review at the end of this video. But I honestly don't understand why they never put it in number one, because it's obviously the greatest Wii racing game of all time. I mean, put Nintendo on the map, so it has to be number one. I could see it not being number one in a top 20 best Wii games of all time, which I have done my top 20 Wii games. That was probably like a year ago, I think, that I did that. But I would definitely put it in the number one spot for a racing game. So yeah, I have a bunch of Wii racing games. I have probably about 15 titles. For the life of me, I can't find Mario Kart. I wish I knew where it was, but I don't know where it is. I looked in the box over there, games that I have here on the bottom shelf of this shelf here, and the games behind me over here in this corner. Couldn't find Mario Kart, but I will mention it on this list because it's a great game. Also, there's only one data design game on here, because most data design games were shovelware garbage and they suck and they're not worth mentioning. Like Ninja Breadman, Anubis 2, those are garbage pretty much. They made a lot of crap, a lot of low quality garbage on the Wii, especially racing games. A lot of them are just not that great. But I do have one on the list that just slides in. But anyways, before we get to that, let's go ahead and mention the honorable mentions. With Cars, Cars 2, and Cars Race-O-Rama. All pretty decent racing games, licensed games on the Wii. First game, from what I know, is not exclusive though. It was on the PS2, and I think it was on Xbox and GameCube as well, and possibly the PSP. And the second one, I think, is on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, if I'm not mistaken. But it was also on the Wii. They're pretty competent racing games that were based on a movie. I actually put Cars, the first one, in my top 15 licensed games because I honestly didn't think it was that bad. I thought it played pretty well overall, and it was fun. It was enjoyable. So, if the game's fun and it plays well, why not? You know what I mean? I don't consider it a bad licensed game. So, that's honorable mentions, those three games. We have Penny Racers 2 Party, Turbo Speedway Q. That's the full title, of that for honorable mention. That's good. We have Hot Wheels Track Attack, which is a really good game. Even Metal Jesus Rocks mentioned this and his Hidden Gems. It was a fun game. Definitely worth checking out. We have Need for Speed Carbon on the Wii, but it's also on the PS2, Xbox, and I believe it's on GameCube as well. It's really fun. If you like Need for Speed games where you basically race in the dark, then you'll like this one, We have Monster 4x4 World Circuit, another one that Metal Jesus Rocks mentioned. You can actually mention both of them. This is Stunt Racer. I like this. It's pretty good. I think it's a good arcade-style racing game on the Wii. It's dirt cheap. You get this game for about $8. It's definitely worth it to pick up. It just didn't quite make my top 15, but it's good. It is fun. Then we have Monster Trucks Mayhem, made by Zoo, a company that's no longer around from what I looked up on Google. But even though it's a short game, and it isn't the longest game, it's a low-budget racing game, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty fun. I didn't mind this game too much. I thought it was pretty fun. Then we have Bigfoot Collision Course. made by Zoo. Again, the graphics in this really didn't look like a Wii game, to be honest with you. And I beat the whole game in about 4 hours, so it's not a very long game. It is pretty short, so that's why it doesn't make the list. I thought King of Crush was a better racing game on the Wii overall. Even that game was kind of short though. But that game, the graphics look better than this. And I think this one came out after it. 2008 this came out, and it had such shitty graphics, and it looked like a PS2 game. This is ridiculous. It should have looked like an actual Wii game, a good looking Wii game, like Mario Kart or something. But it didn't. So that's one of the reasons why it didn't make my top 15. Another reason is because it's short. But the gameplay is still fun. It does have the arcade style racing gameplay to it, so I did still enjoy it for what it was. Just it's sad that it was really short. I did also like the customization of the cars, acceleration and speed and stamina and stuff, points that you can use to get your car to go faster in the races and build up your stamina and your speed and things like that. That was actually pretty fun. Pretty good to add that in there to the car. There's also a Ben 10 racing game, Galactic Racing or something. That's like a kart racing game, and I've heard that that's pretty good as well. So I'm mentioning that in the honorable mentions here too. Alright, now let's get to the list. At number 15, this is the only data design game that I put on the list. Some people would probably not put this on the list because it is a data design game and their reputation of making video games is pretty terrible. But I didn't mind it. It's Kawasaki Snowmobiles. This is an okay racing game. It's definitely not in the top 5 best racing games on the Wii, but it's okay for a snowmobile racing game. You race around the tracks against other racers and opponents, and you definitely get a good amount of speed and everything. And it's definitely fun. I like the snow graphics to it, Although the graphics don't really look that impressive, honestly. They look unimpressive. They could look more like a Wii game. They didn't really look like a Wii game. They looked more like a PS2 game, or PS1 game, So the graphics, they stink. But the gameplay was still pretty fun. The controls are not too bad. Tilting the Wii remote and things like that, moving it around, wasn't horrible. It was still playable overall, but the graphics definitely are not that great. And the controls could have been a bit tighter, a little bit tighter, make it a little bit of a better game. But I'd be lying if I said that I hated this game, because I didn't really hate this data design game. And yes, it is data design. You can see that where my finger is. It's data design. So, here's the back. But yeah, overall, not the most amazing Wii racing game, but overall, it's still decent, I'd say. I'm not going to say it's amazing or excellent, it's not, but it's decent enough. Number 14, this is a sports game, but it's also considered a racing game. It's different than most of the other Tony Hawk games, because Tony Hawk's Underground was a skateboarding game, it was a sports game, extreme sports game. All of the Tony Hawk games were really extreme sports games, but this one's not. And that's Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. It's also available on the PS2, and I think it's on the Xbox 360 as well. This is a decent skateboarding racing game, and I do say racing because it does have racing elements in the game. Going downhill, racing against other people, trying to get to the finish line at first place. So that's why it falls into both a sports game and a racing game. It was pretty good overall. The graphics are decent. They could have looked a little bit better on the Wii. I'd like to see a side-by-side comparison of the PS2 and Xbox 360 version versus this to see which one had the best graphics. But I have a funny feeling it's the Xbox 360 version that has the best graphics. The mechanics in the game don't suck. They're actually pretty good. And the gameplay overall is fun and fluid. And yeah, it's enjoyable for what it is for a sports racing game. So I recommend it. It's just that it's not better than some of these other titles. Number 13 is Build and Race. I actually have 2 or 3 copies of this game because I got lots off of eBay, and they had this game in there. Number 13, I mean, this is a decent game. You build cars. It does have a little bit of simulation, but focuses a little bit more on the arcade aspect. It's got both elements in there. But what you do is you build a car first, and once you build it, you do some things in the game, and then you get to race the car around the tracks. The racing around the car, or taking the car rather and racing it around the track, was probably the best part of the game. I also do like the customization that you can do with this car. Make it look just like the car you want, like with the colors and things. Like my favorite color is blue, so obviously I want my car to look blue. But you may like it red or green or pink if you're a girl. And you can do that in this game. You can make it whatever color you want, really. Pink, red, blue, green, black, yellow, and maybe even purple, But yeah, it is a decent racing game overall. There was a time trial thing in this game, I believe, as well, to see how fast you could go and get through the level without all the time running down to zero. If you ran down to zero, you lost. So that added to the funness of the game as well. So that's what I have to say for Build and Race. It's a pretty good racing game on the Wii, just not in the top 5. Number 12 is Bigfoot King Crush. There's been 3 Bigfoot games, the first one being on the NES, and then there's this in Collision Course, which I just talked about right here. But this one I think was the best out of all 3. But not a very long game or in-depth game, because you can beat this game within 4 to 6 hours and complete everything. So it's definitely not something you want to pay top dollar for, like 30, 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks. But if you can get this game for 10 bucks or less, I'd say go for it, because it's a decent game for the Wii. It's a fun arcade style racing game, and I like the graphics in the game. Graphics look better than the Collision Course. They're not mind-blowing, but they're decent enough. And the game is fun and fluid, and definitely worth checking out if you have a Wii and you're looking for a cheap racing game. Now we're on number, 15, 14, 13, 12. We're on number 11. I have Glacier 2. This is kind of like a twisted metal type of game. It has some combat in it. That's why this game is rated T and not E, because of the violence. But it was decent. I wasn't like, yeah, this game kicks ass or anything. I thought it was just okay, It was playable. It was serviceable. But if you're looking for a twisted metal type of racing game on the Wii, this is probably your best bet. I know there's a third one, but I heard it's not as good as this one. This one's way better than the third one. But I still don't understand, why do you have to unlock tracks just to play multiplayer? That makes no sense. It should have at least given you one that was unlocked. So you have to play through the campaign just to unlock tracks. That was stupid. That was really fucking stupid. But other than that, yeah, it was a decent game. It played well enough. Some of the levels looked interesting, and some of them didn't. I like the if I'm not mistaken, there was an ice level. You're racing around the tracks. You see icicles everywhere. You know, that was an interesting level. Decent enough. It's a decent game overall for the Wii. So, and if you're looking for racing games, it's cheap. It's no more than $15 on eBay. So, it's worth a pickup if you like racing games. Number 10, we have a Ski-Doo Challenge, even better than Kawasaki snowmobiles. It was not made by Kawasaki. They did the design, I mean. It's made by Valcon Games here. And it's a better game overall. It's a pretty fun racing game. 3, 2, 1, go! You know, you race around the tracks and a snowmobile. It's fun. And it plays better. It controls better and it looks graphically better than Kawasaki snowmobiles. So I recommend it if you like snowmobile racing games. Snowcross is another snowmobile racing game. I don't think they ever made one for the Wii, unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I'm not, because I only know of 2 Snowcross games, one on PlayStation 1 and one on PlayStation 2. But yeah, Ski-Doo Challenge plays very similar to that. You race through the snow on snowmobiles, try to go for first place, and try to win races. You know, and you have the crowds cheering you. I think there was some music played in the game, some rock music, which added to the gameplay, of course. The courses and levels were drawn out enough to where you were like, this doesn't get boring, you know. I liked it. It's a pretty good game overall. I definitely recommend it if you have a Wii. It's not exclusive to the Wii. It's also on Xbox 360, but it's fun on either console. Alright, now I think we're in the top 10. Let's see, we did 15, 14, 13, 12, 13. Nope, we're at number 9 now. Number 9 is an arcade-style racing game. We have Hot Wheels Beat That. There's also, as I said, Track Attack and Battle Force 5. I don't own Battle Force 5. I heard it wasn't as good as this and Track Attack, though. But you got to get used to the controls on the Wii. It took me a while to get used to the steering, because you got to hold the controller sideways and do this, turn left, and do that, and turn right. You know, I think the worst part of the game is probably the elimination matches. Those were a pain in the ass, man. They really were, because those you really had to come in first place or close to it, and I always kept losing. What's interesting though is on the PS2 I was able to actually get, I think, second place in those matches from racing around the tracks, but not in the Wii version because of the motion controls, you know. So maybe the PS2 version is slightly better. But graphically, it didn't look bad. It actually looked good. And the tracks are all designed from actual tracks that you would put Hot Wheel cars on, and then they'd go around this little loop and then come out, jump down or whatever. You would know what I mean if you were a guy and you played with those Hot Wheels cars and those track sit-ups that you'd buy at Toys R Us or KB Toys back in the day, which are both gone now. I mean, basically the only places you can get toys is Heroes Hideout, basically. They're the only ones. All the other toy stores have shut down over the years. So, yeah, just Heroes Hideout or eBay or Amazon. You know, but the only store to go to buy the toys is Heroes Hideout. But yeah, pretty fun game overall. Definitely recommend it if you have a Wii or a PS2, because it is also on PS2. Plays a little bit better on the PS2, but graphically it looks better on the Wii. And yeah, it's still a fun game for the racing elements. The elimination matches will be a bit frustrating because you will get eliminated a lot. But overall, not too bad. I didn't mind it. Alright, so we're at number 8 now. We have Flat Out, Love Flat Out. Flat Out games are fun. The only one that I wasn't really impressed with was Flat Out 4. I thought that one was kind of a letdown. But Flat Out 1 and 2 on the PS2 were a lot of fun and definitely challenging. This one's just as challenging. The graphics look like a Wii game, and they do stand out a bit. This game you can have for 15 to 20 bucks. It's definitely worth a purchase for that price. Racing around the tracks will take a little bit of time and effort and patience, but eventually you will get good at this game and you will start kicking butt and you will start winning races. It is fun. It does have a little bit of combat. You can crash into each other and blow hoods off the front of the cars, and you do see that animation happen a lot in the Flat Out games. I liked it. I thought it was good. The graphics are good. The gameplay is fun. And it's definitely worth checking out if you have a Wii and you're looking for a fun racing game that doesn't suck. This one's good. Excuse me. So now we're at number 7. The number 7 pick, let me see, did I pick that one? Yeah. My number 7 pick is Cruisin'. Great arcade style Wii racing game. It is so much fun. It plays just like the N64 ones, but obviously not on the N64. Definitely a fun arcade style racing game. It's self-explanatory. Go from point A to point B, racing around tracks as fast as possible. You pick up nitro, you pick up other things to help you along the way, get past the cars, you crash into cars that get in your way, although it makes you spin around in a circle. Yeah, this was really fun. And definitely worth checking out if you have a Wii. I'm trying to remember there was this underground tunnel level where you're racing around and you can go under the tunnel and you eventually come out of the tunnel. I remember that level being pretty awesome. You know, it's good. You gotta play third or better though, otherwise you get game over. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. The graphics are good and the gameplay's fun. So it's worth checking out if you have a Wii. Back. I don't think I showed the back. Number 6 is Need for Speed Nitro. It was inevitable that I put one Need for Speed game on the Wii, and this one is definitely the most underrated out of them all. I mean, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Undercover, Need for Speed Pro Street, and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit were also on the Wii, but they're not as underrated as this one because this was the only one that was a Wii exclusive. The other ones were on PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, you know. So this one definitely stands out for the Wii. And it's a really fun racing game. It's arcade style, definitely fast paced. Graphics look good. Gameplay is fluid. How could you go wrong? You can't go wrong with this game. It's a great one if you have the Wii. Customization of the cars too a little bit. Well, number 5 is MX vs. ATV Untamed. I love the MX vs. ATV series. I know they started out doing their own thing, MX Unleashed and MX Rider on the PS2, and then they also had the ATV Off-Road Fury series, 1 through 4, and then the ones on the PSP. And then later on they put this game out. I think there was a game before it, and then this came out. And then they had MX vs. ATV Live, Supercross Encore, and then there's another one on the Switch and PS4. It's called All Out, ALLOUT, not Fallout, All Out. Which are all pretty good. They're all pretty fun arcade-style racing games where you get to ride on motorcycles and ATVs in the game. dirt in the wind and do tricks on your bikes and ATVs. Go for first place. It's definitely a great game. Like some of the graphics in the game, with the dirt and everything, you can kind of see it move around a bit. Knock people off their bikes too. When they go up this hill, you can kind of crush them so they fall off. And then you take the lead, like say you're in 5th place and you knock the guy off his bike, then you take 4th place. That was pretty cool. It's a really good game. It's not exclusive to the Wii though. It's also on PS3, PSP, Xbox 360, and it might be on the Nintendo DS as well. It's a really fun game, definitely worth checking out. And Metal Jesus Rocks also did mention this game as well. Number 4 is Monster 4x4 Stunt Racer. This is a great game. Metal Jesus Rocks also mentioned this game as well as the first one, but it plays even better than the first one because you can go up the hills, you can go around and do those 360 spins. I don't think you could do that in the first game, so that was an added bonus to this game. It's very arcadey style, and you can throw shit at your enemies in the game to get first place. So that definitely adds to the funness of the game. Definitely makes it play a little bit like a kart racer in a way, you know. Controls are great, the graphics are great, the gameplay is fun and fluid, and overall it's just a fun racing game. I remember playing these for hours, thinking, wow, these are actually really good Wii racing games. I really enjoyed these, so and it's because Metal Jesus Rocks recommended them that I picked them up and tried them out, and I actually really enjoyed my time with World Circuit and Stunt Racer. Although Stunt Racer is the better game overall. Definitely worth checking out if you have a Wii. The number 2 spot goes to Sonic and All-Stars Racing. Sega and Sonic All-Stars Racing, I believe. That's the full title. I don't own that for the Wii. I own it on Xbox 360, but I know it's available for the Wii. Of course. Yeah, it's available on the Wii as well, and PS3 and Xbox 360, and it probably is on the PS2 if I'm not mistaken, and the handhelds as well, like PSP and the Nintendo DS. Well, it's a really fun game. It's an arcade kart racer is what it is. It's different than these that I mentioned, because these aren't really kart racing games. But it's really fun. You throw things at your enemies, power-ups and stuff, make people slip on various items in the game. You can also get invincibility, so that way when cars hit you with these power-ups that they throw at you like fireballs and shit, it doesn't affect your car, or you know, because you got this invisibility ball that's around your car to prevent you from getting hit, you know. It's a really fun racing game. They did go on to make a sequel, Transform. I own that for the PS Vita and the PS3, but I know that's also on 360 and the Nintendo Wii U. But we're not talking about that here because it's not on the Wii. First game is really fun, and it is good looking. The graphics are beautiful and gorgeous, and it's definitely worth checking out. It's around a $15 game. Might be $20 with the shipping, if you buy it off of eBay, that is. But it's definitely worth every penny. It's worth every single dollar that you spend on the game, because you will get your money's worth at it, and it's really fun. So, with that being said, what do you think is the number 1 Wii game for racing games? That is, I'll give you a minute to think. No clue? You don't know? Well, I'll tell you. It's Mario Kart Wii. That is the number 1 Nintendo Wii racing game. That game is so much fun. The controls are great when steering the car. Moving left moves you left, no delays. Right moves you right. You can get the steering wheel for it. So you go like that. Or you can just use a controller. I just use a controller. I never bought the steering wheel. But I liked it. It was a pretty good game. Only thing that sucks is that it doesn't quite give you like new tracks. You get a lot of old tracks from previous games put into the Wii version, but you get a lot of tracks for your money's worth. This is definitely the most expensive one on the Wii because it's still going for around 20 to 30 bucks, maybe 35 bucks for a copy, complete with the manual, case, cover art, disc, being in flawless shape. I did beat this game and I did enjoy this game. I thought it was really fun. There's an online mode that was with this game when the servers were still up. That was a lot of fun to play against people all over the world. It definitely added to the funness and the hours of gameplay that you would play in the game, with playing the game I mean. The characters are all interesting. You get to play as Mario, Toad, Toadette, Bowser, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Yoshi, Toadette, I think's in the game, Princess Peach, Daisy, Donkey Kong, Bowser. I think Cammy Cooper might be in the game, and you get the Koopa Trooper character as well to play as. And you get Wario in the game, and Waluigi. So there's a lot of characters that you can play as. You play as good guys or bad guys in the game. And it's just a really fun kart racer, you know. It's one of the greatest games ever made for the Nintendo Wii. You know, it's definitely in my top 10 best Nintendo Wii games ever made. But the game as a whole, for number one, for the Wii racing games, is definitely the best racing game. Most fun kart racing game you will ever play. And it's held up its time and its legacy with the Mario Kart franchise and Mario games in general because of how much fun the game actually is. So that's why it's worth buying if you have a Nintendo Wii. And the graphics do look amazing on the Wii. They look great. They look just like a Wii game should look. So that's why I put Mario Kart at number one. So anyways, that's all I really got to say here, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my ranking of the top 15 Nintendo Wii racing games. Apparently nobody really puts Mario Kart at number one, but it deserves to be at number one because it's the best racing game of all time. Hopefully you agree with my list and my rankings, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to Larry the Batman Fan. Subscribe, folks, subscribe. For more gaming videos and be a part of what we got going on here. I do lots of gameplay videos, comic book related videos, music, movie, and religion related videos. I've done some rant videos. Those have come to an end. There aren't going to be many of those popping up. We are mainly a gaming channel here that focuses primarily on games from the Atari all the way up to the PlayStation 5. If you are a fan of gaming, if you want to hit that subscribe button and be part of what I got going on so you never miss an upload. You get to see some of the greatest gaming content in the world. And if you do subscribe, thank you very much. I appreciate y'all for watching my content. God bless you all, and thank you for watching, and take care and everything else. Bye.